Hey guys, in today's video we're going to talk about how to get more speed and compress the ball. Hey guys, Eric here outside at the Bethlehem Golf Club. Want to talk today about how to get more speed and compress the ball. Now, before we dive in, want to talk to you specifically about CogornoGolf.com. Now, if you guys aren't able to come see me in person or for a 2-day golf school, we created CogornoGolf.com for just that reason. We have an online community where there's a ton of different courses, quick fix sections, full practice guides to really help guide your learning step by step, as well as our Facebook community. Now, in our Facebook community, you can post up your swings. I can give you feedback and really guide you through your learning to expedite the process of you improving. So would love to see you at CogornoGolf.com. We will put a link in the description down below. Now, let's talk about how to create speed and compress the golf ball. So when we're talking about creating speed and compression, what I want to talk about here today is what happens during the downswing. Now, obviously, in terms of creating speed and hitting a ball, well, there's a ton of different micro elements, right? How you set up, how you go back. If you watch the 400 plus other videos, obviously we think are important. But I want to talk today about the downswing and specifically during the late part of the downswing. Now, we've done some different videos on this topic, but maybe not put it all together. And I actually saw a post on Instagram from Jeff Smith. Some of you guys might know him as Radar Golf Pro online. He did a post about a couple elements at the bottom to really hit the ball solid. And they're things we talk about all the time during our lessons I wanted to share with you guys here today. So there's really three different things I want to talk about that go on in the bottom half of your swing that create speed and compress the ball. So let me show you guys what those three things are. Let's talk through them, and then I'll give you some different drills to do. Okay, so what are those three things that create speed and help you compress the ball? So what we're going to talk about specifically is if I can get myself to a point in the swing where the club gets about parallel to the ground. So we'll call this kind of 3/4 of the way into the downswing, where when the club gets parallel to the ground. From this position forward, there's going to be a couple pieces that go on that are going to kind of make or break whether you create speed and compress the ball or not. One of them is what the lead leg, really both legs, but what the lead leg does in space. Now, from the top of the swing, okay, my left leg is going to be some amount bent. In transition, we know we want to bend it more and have it externally rotate. But then at some point in time, my left leg needs to stop bending and start straightening. And this is about the point where I want you to train this in. Some players will start straightening it sooner, but I want you to start to kind of really feel it from about left arm parallel, or rather shaft parallel, into the follow through. Okay, so part number one is just that, the left leg straightening. Now, your left leg straightening and when you do it or how much you do it is going to play a serious role in speed. What I want you to feel and understand is in the initial parts of the downswing, you should be pressing down, increasing the flex in your left leg, pressing into the ground so that at some point you can press up and out and create speed. So from our down the line angle, the same thing is going to remain true. I'm going to go during my downswing, increase my flex in my left leg, press into the ground, and then sometime really between left arm parallel and club parallel, even though that's where we're training it in, I'm going to start to push out of the ground, extend my left leg. So part number one is just that, extending the left leg. Now, how I want you to practice this is going to be like this, and we're going to kind of use this little 3-step process with each phase here. I want you to take your setup and I want you to pose this last parallel position. So the club head's even with the ground, okay, maybe slightly angled inside. I've got the club about right here, hands about even with my right leg. And what I want you to do is I want you to press into your left leg, increase the flex in your left leg just for a second, and then I want you to push up out and extend your left leg as your arms go through. So you'll take your normal setup, get down into last parallel, push down and forward with your leg. So I feel like my leg's increasing flex. I'm pushing down into the middle part of my foot, and then I'm going to push up and out as my arms go through. This is part number one. You want to extend your left leg for speed and compression. So I go ahead and I feel that once or twice down here, push out, good. Now you're going to see some other things going on that we're going to talk about in a second, but right now I want to push into my leg and then straighten it back up. And I'm just going to make a little half swing feeling that same thing. Push down and extend back up. Now, some of you guys and gals are going to feel that differently. Some of you may just feel the push down part, and you're going to start to straighten back up automatically. Some of you are going to feel the straighten up part automatically, and you'll push down to create that. Either one is fine. For me, I like to feel like I push into my left foot and then lengthen it. Push into it, lengthen it. We'll go ahead and do one more. Again, I'm straightening my leg as my arms come down and through. Good, and that feels really good for me. So that's part number one, is straightening your left leg to create speed and compression. You want it to flex in transition, straighten up later, keeping in mind that the golf swing happens in a really short period of time. So you probably have to start straightening that leg a little sooner than you think. That's part number one. Let's talk about the second piece here. So the second piece involved with creating speed and compression at this bottom half is kind of what your body or torso does. So part number one was left leg. Part number two is going to be the pelvis, sort of thorax or torso, and what that does in space. So if we pose the same thing, I get down to last parallel, I start straightening my legs. I also need to do something with my pelvis and just my body in space. And what I want you to do is I want you to create extension, which is I want your belt buckle to go forward and I want your chest to go up towards the sky. But I don't want to do it pointing towards the golf ball. I'd like to do it pointing at the target. So really part number two here is we're going to create extension. I'm going to kick my hips forward, kick my chest up as I'm turning. Okay, so part one here in terms of this drill is the left leg is straightening. I'm also going to get my belt buckle and my shirt buttons at the target, and both of them I want pointed up. Belt buckle's pointed up towards the sky, not down towards the ground. My shirt buttons are pointed up towards the sky, not down towards the ground. So I've created extension with rotation. You guys hear me talk in all the videos about in the follow through, you want to make sure your knees, hips, chest, shoulders are square to the target and up, pointed up towards the sky. That's a second one that's going to create speed and compression. So now I'm going to be feeling like I'm pushing down into my leg, straightening my leg up, but I'm also, as I'm straightening my leg, kicking my hips forward. I'm also getting my chest up towards the sky on the follow through. If you have been swinging this way forever and hitting it very short, and you do it normal, you're going to feel like you're kind of leaning back or like a reverse C type of motion. Now, how I would start to practice this is the same way as straightening the left leg. I go down here, I feel like, oh, I'm pressing into my left leg, straighten my leg, extend and turn. Straighten my leg, extend and turn. I'm gonna go ahead and put that together. Straighten my leg, belt buckle forward, chest up. Excellent, and that feels really good and powerful for me. And it's just based on the theory of, right, we're trying to use the ground to create speed. All of these pieces, I want to get me and the club, my hands, everything lower to the ground. And then I want to launch out of the ground as I'm turning, get the club head working into the ball very shallow and from the inside, and maximize the speed, okay, with the body elements where I can get the handle forward, hit it solid. So left leg straight, okay, push down, belt buckle, chest up. Left leg straight, belt buckle, chest up, little half swing. Excellent, that feels really good as well. So that's part number two. With the left leg straightening, you want to get the hips and the chest up towards the sky. Now there's one more part, part three, and then we'll put this all together. So part number three, creating speed and compression. We know the left leg wants to reflex, but eventually needs to straighten. We know the hips and the torso need to extend and rotate into the follow through. And now the last part, I kind of want to think about as our left shoulder and the hands, okay? If I want to maximize speed and compression, I want to make my left shoulder and my hands, once I get down the last parallel, I want my left shoulder to work up and back behind me. And if I do that properly, my hands should go up and to the left. So I'm down and forward. I want my left shoulder to go up and back. And when I do that, that's going to pull my hands up and to the left and sort of creates that club head seeking 90, and we get more speed. Now understand, this is assuming you have the pieces earlier on. If your club face is too open, or your downswing is too steep and you have other issues earlier, of course you have to fix those first before you'd be looking at this video trying to create more speed and compression. You have to fix those first or else these things aren't going to apply. Okay, so I get down to here like this, I'm straightening my leg. I'm getting my belt buckle and my shirt buttons extending and turning, and I'm getting my left shoulder and my hands working up and to the left. That would be like a maximum speed movement. And then I'm going to put those together. I'm gonna feel left leg straighten, belt buckle chest forward, left shoulder out. And you may feel all those, and you may feel only some of them. And when you do them properly, you can maximize your speed and compression. Again, when I'm pulling these pieces up, the rotation part of it creates speed and gets my handle forward. When I work in, when I'm getting my left leg up, my hip goes up, my shoulder goes back and around, that with the club shallows the angle of attack at the bottom as I'm turning. That's kind of putting those two pieces together. So one more time, get down to last parallel, straighten the left leg, belt buckle chest up, left shoulder and hands ripping up and to the left. So let's go ahead and do that. Good, and that feels really good. Now, again, that's assuming prerequisites. So if you saw the video we did on the best practice station I've ever seen, we had sticks in, I have you swinging out this way. For you, if you've been over the top or your face is open, you need to learn to do that first. Get the ball curving right to left. Don't worry about maximizing speed yet, just get that down. Then you can apply these principles later. So those are a couple of things. Credit to Jeff for posting that up. Can really help create speed and compression when you're ready for it. If you guys have any questions, as always, leave a comment down below. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you liked the video, do us a favor, click the like button down below. Click the notification bell also, please subscribe. Another reminder, every Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're live here on YouTube for Rapid Fire Golf. We'd love to see you guys there.